For this guy, I will remove the brushed, and instead, what's next on the list? We do the mesh. That's a cool one. So I will do the same, put it into the bump and into the opacity one. And this is what you get, right? If you find that to be too much, then maybe we should just go in here, press right click on our line and do color invert. And immediately you have something that is, let's say, less in your face, right? We can also see what that would do to the other material. Just check it out. Right there, we have exactly the opposite effect. That depends on the amount of black and white in the original textures, right? Another trick in the material graph is if you just want to isolate how your texture looks without the color and the reflection and everything, click on your texture and press the C button. And now you can see it exactly the way it is at the moment, just in its colors. And then you press C again to go out, and same goes for all the other textures. So this is a really helpful tool for inside the material graph. Anyways, so let's continue. So with the mesh, you can do a lot of things, right? You can basically also, if you use stencil, if you clip, you can also just make windows, patches, instead of all over the place. And I think that's also helpful. Maybe you don't want to apply the texture everywhere, but you just want to apply it in the center. And then you get like already a really nice thing. I think this is cool. These alpha modes I barely ever touch, so I'm not sure, to be honest, what they do. But here you can change the shape of the mesh, right? Is it a circle, ellipse, triangle, squares, pentagon, hexagon, line? So they make a huge difference in how you can apply them and what you can use them for. Let's stick with circle for now. And fall off basically just means how sharp the whole thing is, like the borders. See, they fade with higher fall off values, and 0 is just like super sharp, no fade at all. Right. So for now, let's keep it like this. Shape diameter basically just tells you how big the circles should be, and pattern spacing is how close or far apart should they be. So you already see that's the basic control of what mesh can do. And then jitter basically brings in a little bit of chaos already. And I think 1 is the maximum value. And then we have distortion again. So here you see already what happens to the spheres. They suddenly become speckled nuggets. But let me see, what did I put in as the examples? Diameter, shape diameter 14. That's big. Then, but that's also cool. I mean, look at this. You have like a very unique thing. Pattern spacing 18. And maybe I do not clip it. But that's also cool if I just clip it in one direction. Let's see how that works. All right, and then I have 0 jitter because also it's always nice to have some order. I already distorted. I don't want to make it too chaotic sometimes. Sometimes I do. But for this example, I think it's nice if you still recognize the original arrangement of the spheres, of the circles. Okay, distortion, I bring high 40. And scale, I put 3. Look at that. Did you ever expect to do this with the mesh texture? I don't think so, because I also just figured it out by playing around. And this is how it looks if you don't have any clip at all, which is funny to me because it's so different, right? I think it's cool though, but I also really like the clip one. I think it's nice and clean, right? You can adjust the clip. Oh, cool, cool, cool. This has much more It's not too chaotic, and yet we see what happens through the distortion. I think this is a nice one. Whew. Look at that, I'm happy. Like packaging design graphics, you cannot easily make this in Illustrator, I suppose. But hey, there we are, cool. And so this is one texture I wanted to show you. All right, so, okay, this is what we have, right? No, this is what we have. Now, what if we change our shape to a triangular shape? And we immediately get like more, to me it looks immediately like African aesthetic, like wood carvings and stuff like that I have seen before. I think it's really nice. Let's see, you can also adjust the size. Now, is it like equal size or should it be more asymmetric? If we, yeah, we can play around with that. Spacing, we leave it like this. And maybe we want to increase the scale. I have it at 5. And let me just also remove this one for you to see how it would look as a total. I think this is really cool. Like has some sort of psychedelic vibe as well. Yeah, I love the clipping. Yeah, I think it really adds a lot. There's this nice contrast between the clean surface and the hyperactive crazy pattern distortion. All right, so now let's compare it to the other one. So here we see that it was based on circles, right? Very different appearance from the triangular design. Okay, then the next one is another copy of the mesh. I think with the mesh you can do a lot. I mean, there's also one tutorial I show you where you can use the mesh with the square shape to create windows. Basically also with the clipping mask, and then put it as the opacity to your wall, and then you can flood the room with light. So the mesh is really versatile. So let's see where we are. Let's go to the square one, or let's do the line first, because I like the square the best. Look at that. With what we have already, we get this really nice height field. I mean, it's still the same distortion. So I guess you do recognize that there's an overlying pattern. But let's see what else do I have here. Spacing, more space in between those lines. And for this one, I removed the clipping completely. So this is with the line. I think it's really nice and thick. I mean, obviously you can make it smaller still, get finer lines, right? This is also really cool. Yeah, this is just the way the lines are arranged next to each other, the mesh pattern. Sometimes for the, let's say, normal application, this is interesting, that the circles are not just in line by line, but they are like staggered in stairs, or they're like going around the circle, packed. So that's all different things you can do. Maybe we can distort it even more. And then we almost have a fingerprint. Or there are these lenses like back in school, right? Where you had the projector and they have these interesting effects also. I wanted to jitter it because that breaks the lines. And suddenly there's more chaos in our world, right? So from clean to broken apart. And depending on how you move your texture, you might be able to get like one of these circles, right? Into the center, and maybe there's like, I don't know, something you want to highlight in your part there or whatever. So Yeah, so that's that one. Let's go back to this guy. Which one is it? And now we make this a square. Square. And what size do we have? Oh, that was a little bit too extreme. 14, maybe 16. So it's not exactly square. Then we have something that we have seen already, right? Something familiar. And then we do spacing 21. Bring them closer together. Remove the jitter. 36. And 5. And maybe you want to test again how it is without color invert. Then you get this, right? There's some interesting stuff happening in between. Anyways, let's keep going. But maybe we want to change it further, make it less similar to the others. So let's see, 14 spacing. Let's reduce spacing. This is just the bump that is visible. Okay, now we created a solid surface for the clipping. And cut sections out. The interesting effect. I haven't had it before. I think my spacing is off. And actually I want to have the invert one again. There we are. That's closer to what I'm looking for. Now I have it as a box. You can see and test what does it do when you apply it to a cylinder, even though this is not a cylindrical shape, right? Or a sphere. You will notice there will be some changes. There will be like focus points and stretched sections. UV. Right? I think also very interesting. So this one was a little bit funky because it doesn't change with the camera. But okay. I think that's everything I wanted to show you for the mesh. So let's continue to the next one. What may this one be?